Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. Match week 1 or the first legs of the quarterfinals have just taken place, and in today's video I thought to myself to do a full review. I have some extra thoughts on the preliminary games and obviously the most recent games. Jumping in first of all to Arsenal Madrid, I'm going to strictly talk about the games rather than the upcoming games. There's going to be another video talking about the second leg, what teams have to do to go through, who I predict to go through and everything. Let's talk about this 3-0 performance, 3-0 result. Arsenal, I've noticed this with other Premier League clubs, like Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, even United today. It's a lot of low block. Like, these teams they are better defensively than they are offensively. Like, Arsenal still struggled creating some clear-cut opportunities. And I still feel like, this game was taken away by the moments. It was the moments by Declan Rice. And then, obviously, the game opened up. Madrid were all over the place. It was complete chaos. And then Merino gets the goal. I think the best way to describe the performance, 1-0, maybe 2-0. Madrid definitely do not deserve a goal for that performance. But 1-0, 2-0. I think 3-0 is a little bit flattering. When Arsenal fans here, they think it's discreditment or something. No, I just have high expectations on a 3-0 performance. But as I said, for me, the biggest prop to this Arsenal side in this 3-0 victory was the mentality. When you play against Madrid in the UEFA Champions League, whoever you are, it will obviously have a negative effect. Because you're playing against Madrid, there are more eyeballs on the game, you will feel different. But Arsenal, I felt during the entirety of the game, they don't respect Madrid, they didn't fear Madrid, and just play their football. And, that's exactly what we saw. Talking about the individual performances, Raya, he was basically not really tested, but I've honestly rated him this season and even the past season as like a top 7, potentially even a top 5 keeper in the world. And he had a good game. Timber had a very good game. Won majority of his duels against Vini Junior. Saliba, good game. Kiwior, good game, especially for his expectations and playing as a centre-back. Like, I don't remember that he was a centre-back. Lewis Kelly, I've heard his name a lot of times. Obviously, I don't watch Arsenal, but I saw him this game. Very good game from him. Can invert as well. I think in the second half, I think Calafiore came in for maybe Kiwior. No, I think he came out for one of the midfield. Yeah, he came out for Rice. And then my Lewis Skillet inverted. Another, great thing about him. Declan Rice, apart from the 2 banging goals, just like a decent game. I don't remember that much from him. Maybe a good game. Decent to good game. Nothing special. But the 2 free kicks, those are 2 of the best free kicks I've seen in a while, man. Absolute stunners. Both hit with power and precision, but obviously different kind of ones. One goes top right, one is more of a curler around the wall. And Madrid's wall was fucking disgusting, man. I've seen some replays. Rodrigo just jumping off. Partey was a good game from him. Odegaard, decent to good. Saka, especially just coming back from an injury, decent to good. Merino got his goal. Don't remember that much else from him. Martinelli, actually, he had Valverde in some good spots before. But the issue with Martinelli is just the impactness. Like, he can do a dribble, but then will we get a GA? Will we get an assist out of this? Will we get a goal out of this? No. But still, especially because he's not been that good for a while, a decent game from Martinelli. Real Madrid, though, were completely garbage in this game. Like Arsenal, I knew what they wanted to do. Everyone knew what they wanted to do, and they did what they wanted to do. Madrid is unfortunately a team you don't know what they want. What does Real Madrid want? What does Carlo Ancelotti expect of his players to do on the pitch? I don't really know. That's the weirdest thing with this Madrid side. I don't really know what they're trying to do. I don't know what the plan is for Real Madrid. And players-wise, it's just like Asensio and Camavinga and Rudiger and Courtois, like they were good defensively, clearing up a lot of opportunities. Even Alaba had a good block. Jude had a good block. Valverde did some defensive stuff. But with the ball, disgusting, man. The ball progression from this Madrid side is diabolical. Then we go to the attack. Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vini, even Bellingham. Just garbage. Obviously, when the rest of the team is not that good, it's very hard for you as an attacker to perform. But that's what the best attackers do. Despite their team being absolutely garbage, they just give you that moment. And That's unfortunate what the Madrid attack couldn't do. They couldn't muster up that moment. I remember Real Madrid back in the day. They could have a terrible game. And then Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously majority of the time, it's from someone else making a great play and a great pass, and then Ronaldo finishes it off. But yeah, no, this Madrid side needs a lot of working going into next season. As said, I will not be discussing the second leg, but Arsenal, I also tweeted this. The biggest thing for me with Arsenal as well, they killed the tie off. I remember when we played Madrid recently in the knockout stages in 21-22, we had an incredible performance against them. They had nothing against us, offensively, but we only won 1-0. And that was not enough. And Madrid came back at the Bernabeu. But having a 3-0 and Arsenal being a good defensive side, I just see it impossible. So it's a great result from Arsenal getting in this game. Next up, we have Bayern Munchen versus Inter. I was mostly focusing on the Madrid-Arsenal game, but I did get some thoughts and so on about this game. Obviously, Bayern, momentum-wise, they had the game. They had a lot of good moments, and it all led up to the Harry Kane moment. That Harry Kane moment, he has to score. He has to score. He has to score. Hits the post. Inter score like 5 minutes after that. Second half becomes just a Inter defending, Bayern pushing, Bayern get the goal, still open after the goal, Inter punish them. And that's the scary thing about Inter, and I think that's what also makes Inter a great Champions League side. They have a very great defense, and they're very good at punishing you from counterattack. Like, they're so good from counterattack, even, like, they could have maybe even scored more from the counterattack. And that's, for me, potentially the issue with Bayern is they don't take their chances. Obviously, they're missing a lot of players, so they are worse off than they should be. But yeah, I said before, it was Kane and Olise had to carry Bayern in this game. They tried their best, but the best just wasn't good enough. But I think the tie is still open. Obviously, 2-1 away at Allianz Arena is a huge result. Fratesi coming off the bench and scoring. And I loved how Inter Milan, how they just can suck up that pressure, defend, clearance after clearance after clearance after aerial duel. Barella had a good game. Mkhitaryan had a good game. Augusto had a good game. Thuram, a lot of times, they played long ball straight to him. And that was, for me, a defensive thing. Like, Eric Dyer and Kim Jae, they lost so many aerial duels. Like, Kim lost one to Lautaro Martinez. That should never happen. But yeah, I mean, Bayern, they can still have hope. As said, they still performed well enough. Inter performed well as well. Yeah, I liked to watch this game on the side. Not that much more to say about this game. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the second leg. Moving on to FC Barcelona versus Borussia Dortmund. This was a game I obviously also had on the side, but difference is I was focusing way more on the PSG Villa game. Like, the only times I remember panning myself to the Barca screen was a big chance for Barca or Dortmund. Obviously the goals, and maybe like if it was a stoppage in the PSG Villa game and so on. So I don't know that much about this game. What I do know is Rafinha, once again, 3GA. Like, I don't know how he keeps on doing this. Like, he just makes sure to be contributing to everything Barcelona-wise. All the goals, nearly 3 out of 4 goals contributing to. And Robert Lewandowski continuing, the goal-scoring streak he's been on this year. Yeah, I mean, top scorer in the world. What can I say about him? Lamine Yamal, from what I saw, had a very good game. Obviously got a goal, but, towards the end, the game was already done. Dortmund opened up. But from what I saw, yeah, a good game. A good game from Lamine Yamal. Fermin Lopez, saw some good touches from him and so on. Good game. Obviously, Olmo should still be the starter in that position, both over Lopez and Gavi. But, yeah, obviously he's injury prone. Pedri, I guess a good game. Kubarsi obviously got an assist. But defensively, Barca sometimes looked a bit, questionable. Dortmund still created some chances. It was just this Guarassi, dude. How many big chances did he miss? Did they have that? 2 big chances missed. Like, there were some chances. Like, I think it was a 4. I think Barca should have gotten that many goals. I think so. Because they had so many chances. Like, I saw so many times they had like a 3v3 counter-attack opportunity and so on. But maybe keeping a clean sheet was a bit flattering for Barca. Maybe it would have been a 4-1, 4-2 game potentially. But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised by Dortmund because I thought they would play terrorist football. I saw them play Lille, with terrorist football away at Lille. And I expected the same here for Barca. I expected them, a similar performance to what they did against us last year in the Champions League. But no, they were like, we're going to go toe-to-toe with Barca. And why would you do that? I don't even think a team has gone toe-to-toe with Barca this season like Dortmund did. Just completely opened up themselves and ruined every single opportunity to go through in this league, even though going through was very, very small and unlikely for Borussia Dortmund in this tie ball. Yeah, just another great performance by FC Barcelona. They have obviously been the best and most consistent team since the beginning of the Champions League campaign, even though I obviously think Paris Saint Germain are the better side at the moment. But yeah, no, Barca obviously having, some of a favorable draw there on the right-hand side and making it looking easy, going through Benfica and now Borussia Dortmund. Yeah. Moving on, obviously, to the last game. Obviously, I've had so many thoughts about this game, so I would just keep it a bit short. Paris Saint Germain, just beautiful performance. And what I like about this PSG team, it's the completeness. Like, whatever the opponents hits as us, we always have a solution to it. You want to park the bus? We can do that. You want to press us? We can play that. You want to stay in a mid-block? We can play that. So basically, because this was by far the most terroristic side we've faced. Like, we've faced Liverpool who parked the bus, Atletico, Barca last season. So many sides that just parked the bus against us. But this Aston Villa side was by far the worst park the bus we have faced, and we still managed to win. Obviously, it was due to individual goals, which, as a PSG fan, you can still be slightly worried that we didn't create more than one big chance for 90 minutes against this Aston Villa side. But I said that from watching the game, they just made this so difficult. They nearly made it impossible. And obviously, they were never going to play like this in the second leg, depending on what the result was. But performance-wise from Paris Saint-Germain, just another great collective performance. I know what I can expect from my team. I know what I can expect from my players. Just a huge performance from Paris Saint-Germain in this game. Aston Villa playing as defensive a formation. When I see this formation, this is not 4-3-3. This is a 4-5-1. Why is it 4-5-1? Because Rodgers and Ramsey are way more midfielders than attackers in my book. Because they basically, held the width there. So you have 4 defenders, Ramsey and Rodgers helping out the fullback. And these areas with Paris Saint-Germain love to, penetrate. And then having 3 midfielders, Rashford being, left open as the outlets up top. But yeah, I mean, Paris Saint-Germain just proved to be too good in this game. And yeah, they're continuing, to perform absolutely great. Same as Barca are. And maybe Inter can go through, and then Arsenal, a very surprising result and performance from them. So the semifinals looks to be very interesting, but obviously we have second legs coming up later on in the upcoming week. I will obviously do a big preview on that. And then some cheeky predictions, obviously, as well. But that's me from boy PSG for the Champions League first leg predictions. And as usual, allez Paris.